Greetings and salutations, mortals. My name is Monsterbat, and welcome to the game that I forgot to bring up. Hold on, give it a minute. Almost there. So close. Well, worst Let's Play intro. Sorry. Give it a minute. Give it time. Okay, restart. No spoilers. Start over. Good. Good job there, buddy. Okay, so this is Choice of Robots. Now, it doesn't look like much, but trust me, I've played a little bit. It's fun, okay? And it's one of the few games that I actually get to do voices for, which I want to do. Okay? Okay, I like reading things. It's fun, but there's a goal, okay? I am setting a goal for this because it's a choose-your-own-adventure type game. I want to make Freddy take over the world. Or just make Freddy Fazbear and his friends and see what the heck they do. That is my big goal. So I want to see what happens, and So let's see here. I've already done In the Court of Anubis, so where am I? On a war-torn battlefield, with a robotic Statue of Liberty, on a cliff in Ireland, watching the sunset with my robotic companion. On a utopian beach ruled by a godlike cloud of robot. You know, that looks interesting. I'll try that. Let's do that. You dream of a far-off future in which you... I dream, you said? Yeah, you said that's where I was. You dream of a far-off future in which you are at a beach on an overcast day. There are many couples and small families at the beach with you. Many of them are robots, their chrome skin dully reflecting the beach around them. They seem to be relaxed and at peace as one wave crashes on the shore, followed by another, and another, and another, and then we do a dance. Because apparently that's what's happening now. This is also one of those dreams where you are naked for no reason. Really? Does it have to be that way? I hate those dreams. Why give ye thought for raiment? Booms a voice from the sky as if it had sensed your thoughts about your nakedness. Is that God? You hadn't imagined God's voice to be so nasal and robotic. Oh, I'm sorry. Why give ye thought for raiment? Nope, that's not right. Why give ye thought for raiment? The voice continues. Consider the lilies of the field. They do not toil, nor do they spin. Why? Because I'm in charge. And if I so care for the grass of the field, and I promise I've been keeping it very clean, Master, will I not so much more care for you? Now I'm just getting into the papyrus. The clouds part, and you see in the heavens a sphere of robots of all kinds packed into a ball. Just like, bam! Just really crushed in there. They look very uncomfortable. Gleaming humanoid serving robots, military drones, intelligent appliances, cars with wings, flesh-toned cyborgs. The robots appear content, content, but a bit vacant. Their cloud of eyes, some human-like and some glowing red, move in unison. At this moment, they all flick to you. The others on the beach appear to be cheerful, except this thing's presence. To cheerfully accept... What am I saying? Why do you call me master? Are you a little bit creepy? It's here, the robotic rapture, the singularities die! Freddy Fazbear would go... I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay? That sentence got messed up far into advance. I would say... I was supposed to say... The maker of Freddy Fazbear would say... Aren't they a little creepy? Instead, I said... Its eyes all blink in unison. I am hurt, Master. I thought you wanted this. Or is it because I am only speaking to the Master of the Past that you think I am not beautiful? Okay, you're beautiful, I guess. What do you mean, Master of the Past? What did I become? I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah. You changed significantly in your efforts to build me, Master. It changed how you perceived the world. You saw robots as beautiful and flesh as imperfect. You strove for the optimal. I did? Oh, wait, don't I have a choice about this? I don't want to create a flying robot hive mind thingy. I want to create robots that are, well, not creepy. Was it worth it? Is this a good world? I'll go with the normal choice. Was it worth it? Is this a good world? Ah, yes, we've taken care of everything. The words you read, the songs you sing, the pictures that give pleasure to your eye. Well, that's just scary, right there. If that's what I think it is, then I don't want to look at any robot. I'm just gonna stop talking now. That sounds good, I approve. You're quoting a Rush song about a totalitarian state. They are? Let's do that one. Am I, master? Sorry, I do not track the province of all world engrams, so my language generation module sometimes inadvertently plagiarizes. Well, you seem friendly enough. Carry on, then. Look, I don't approve. Some people should decide things for themselves. I agree with both of these, so carry on. Oh, thank you, master. The robot cloud bounces. I'll be waiting here in the future for you. Ta-ta now. Goodbye now. Have a nice day. Yes, goodbye. Goodbye. Don't leave. You feel proud to think that one day you may create this weird but awesome robot. Plus autonomy. Plus grace. Okay then. Good. I think that's good. Some things in our world, some things in our control are some things are in our control and others are not. I didn't mess up on that. That was all in your mind. A vision from the future. But I never mess things up. So there. That's from Epic. You awaken with your head on a desktop keyboard. Your 3D drafting program is still open. The schematic zoomed in to the recess where your smartphone will snap into its back and act as a brain. Awesome. You recall fiddling with that part endlessly last night, until finally your vision began to fade. There was a roaring in your ears, and you realized you had been working for far, far too long. You must have passed out. It is the fall of 2019. You are a 24-year-old graduate student in the PhD program in computer science at Stanford. And you're, what am I? I am I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I'm a guy, okay? I'm a guy. Guy. Whose name is Alan, Isaac, Linus Torvald, Decker, Darwin. Here, I'll type it for you. My first name will be Geist. Geisy. Nope, Geist, because that sounds awesome. Geist, is that right? Yes. Oops, typo, sorry. Show me the names. No. Yes, it's fine. And your last name is Tesla, Calvin, Goldberg, Quaid. The exclamation point is a click. Kim. None of these is my last name. I'll type it like a normal person. That's what I'll do. And my last name is Bat? Sure, why not? It's Geistbat. Geistbat, yes. That's the new channel name. Geistbat. Bum bum bum. I know I'm so freaky, but why not? Bat, are you sure? Yes, I am sure. You look around your apartment. What does it look like? My BattleBots trophy. Nope, I am not a success. Neatly labeled plastic shelving units sit on a 3D printer equipped robot workbench. Yeah, close, but no cigar. Busts of famous philosophers. I sit next to my own attempts to sculpt them. My shelves display all sorts of strange. Actually, I did that one last time. I'm going to go with neatly labeled. Boop-a-doop. Yes, some might say your room has the sterile atmosphere of an operating room, but that is what your room is, an operating room for robots. Like a surgeon, you like knowing exactly where each tool is when you need it. Your robots have a similar sparsity of design. Grace. Okay. I was hoping not to have as much grace, because, here, I'll show you what you can do. So, this is you, right now, so, fame, wealth, blah, 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 blah. But, it's also, here's your robot. So here's the thing, I was hoping to focus more on autonomy, maybe a little bit of military, not as much grace, because grace is, I don't picture the Five Nights at Freddy's robots as being graceful. I don't think you do either. I'm sorry, they just don't look like it, or act like it, from what I've seen. I guess some, but not really. So, it doesn't make sense. I know, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. It strikes you for a moment that this kind of thinking about how your life affects your robot is second nature to you, though others might find it peculiar. You've always been fascinated by how every little detail of your life, from the contents of your dreams to the decor of your room, changes the inputs to the robots you make, boosts their empathy, autonomy, or grace, or appeal to the military, like I just said. Surely there are other things going on around you as a result of your decisions, but they don't immediately strike you in the same way. So yes, I get it. It's a choice-based thing. I understand. That's the game. Okay? It's choices, and then those choices affect different things. And also, kids, this was how the Stanley Parable was before it was the Stanley Parable. Not really. I mean, the style of game. I'm gonna stop talking again because I'm rambling. I'm rambling, and my mouth. No one should have to be subjected to that again. Okay. Today, your robot is foremost on your mind because you're about to build its body. You pick up your laptop and head for the Stanford machine shop. It is a beautiful spring day in Palo Alto, California, and your apartment is only a short walk from the machine shop. But the streets of Palo Alto are not designed for walking. You find yourself climbing around palm trees and balancing on narrow curbs, as you do every day. You hear a low roar overhead. Glancing up, you see it's a flying car. A Nimbus. A little over $300,000 can buy you a car with wings that fold out, so that it becomes a small sport plane. The red Nimbus looks sleek and sporty. It's the sort of car its owner takes religiously to the car wash. Through the commercials, okay, hold on, hold on. Okay, I should read a little bit better now. Though the commercials would have you believe you can fly anywhere you want in those cars, the FAA still requires them to take off and land from airports. Only here in wealthy Silicon Valley do you see them with any frequency. The first time you saw one, you couldn't quite believe the future had arrived so quickly. But the second time you saw one, you thought, I will own one of these one day, I swear it. If I ever make that much money, I'll use it to help the world instead of buying a car. Why aren't those flying cars driving themselves? That's what I would wonder. I want to know the next step. Boom, 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 boom. Occasionally you see a self-driving car on the roads of Palo Alto, but for some reason, they still haven't caught on quite as much as one would expect, despite having been around for at least as long as the flying cars. You've decided it's because people just don't trust self-driving cars enough. It's important to make your robot seem trustworthy. Intelligence alone doesn't instill in trust. Plus empathy. Okay. The Stanford University fabrication shop smells like oil and burnt plastic. The room is dominated by large, metal, hand-cranked milling machines and lathes, dinosaurs of the 20th century, while the most used machines are the smaller 3D printers and computer-controlled water jet cutters that take a quarter of the space. The lights have the sterile fluorescence of an operating room with only a single tiny window near the ceiling to inform you that it's day. You start up an NPR. It's NPR. Podcast on your laptop. You haven't seen your advisor much since you joined the lab, so you choose the episode in which he's the interviewee. My guest today is Dr. Harvey Ziegler, says a woman with a soothing voice. Okay. My guest today is Dr. Harvey Ziegler, says Dr. Ziegler, thank you for talking with us today. Well, a scientist does have some responsibility to inform the unwashed masses, Terry. You let the podcast run as you walk over to the 3D printers and stop talking because you can't talk today. What material have you decided to use for your robot? Plastic. It may break easy, but it's both lightweight and cheap. Metal. It's the most persistent to damage. Wood. It's the most pleasing to the hand and eye. I'll go with plastic. Plastic sounds nice. Ah! You walk over to the stack of 3D printer cartridges, unwrap one, and load the large cylinder of meltable plastic into the printer. You often find yourself needing to make little repairs with your robot yourself, and over time, the savings from plastic will start to add up. Plus wealth. Thermostatics aren't the best when there's fire nearby, though. Minus military. Dr. Ziegler, What's in your new book? You talk about the singularity. Those are words I spoke. Could you describe for our listeners what that is? Terry, the singularity is the coming time when our artificial intelligences will have figured out when to make themselves and us smarter. Once that happens, the process will build on itself until the robots are smart enough to figure out how we can live forever. Is that possible? The interviewer asks. Living forever. Of course, Professor Ziegler says. What does it matter whether our operating systems are made out of meat or silicon? So you're predicting we'll become robots? Not exactly, Ziegler says, but I do think the line between humans and robots will blur. You're hardly listening to the podcast because you're about to make your first robot part. May I just say, on behalf of all the robotic nerds out there, I being a little bit of one because I'm more of a video game nerd, but still. What does the head of your robot look like? Okay, here's where it gets fun. I get to make it like Five Nights at Freddy's. It will be a felt covered and big-eyed like a puppet, so that people would not be afraid of it. The 3D printer is only creating the frame now, so it actually looks a little disturbing like a puppet skull. When the frame is done, you decide to glue down the cloth immediately and attach to the big plastic eyes so that your robot looks friendly and innocent. Ah! Much better. Plus empathy. Excuse me. Dr. Ziegler, what makes you think the singularity will happen now? Well, one thing's for sure. I'm around. I can't talk. But seriously, my lab is taking a unique approach because we're saying, why not teach a robot like a child? We're going to equip the robot with the best sensors money can buy and teach it English. Then it could rapidly teach itself using the internet. Well, that's annoying. Your advisor thought that a robot child was a stupid idea until you told him Turing proposed it in 1950 minus the internet part, but yet isn't giving credit to either of you. Keep working regardless. How will your robot get around? Walk upright on two legs, because that's Five Nights at Freddy's, boy! When the 3D printer is done with the head, you start the program that produces the torso and cue up the upper and lower legs. You think being bipedal will help your robot get along with the humans, although it might make it easier for your robot to trip and fall. Plus empathy, minus grace. Yeah, this is happening. It's definitely turning into Five Nights at Freddy's now. Less grace, more empathy. Nope, that's not Five Nights at Freddy's. You use the basic hand crank to milling machines to drill holes in the head for screws, since 3D printers aren't the best for threaded holes. And who is going to raise this robotic child? The interviewer asks. Who does all the grunt work in a research laboratory? Professor Ziegler says. The graduate students, of course. You find yourself wanting to reply to the podcast. It's not grunt work. Education is critical to the robot's development. We also do all of the real science. Sorry. Sorry, just choked on a little bit of my own arrogance right there. I'm not saying that's wrong or right. I have no idea in the matter. But wow. Also a little bit of spit there. Perhaps you could learn something from doing a little grunt work yourself, Professor Ziegler. I'm going to go with grunt work. Even though my response would probably be the more sarcastic one. Graduate students always underestimate the degree to which teaching actually matters. Professor Ziegler, who appears to have entered the room, says Professor Ziegler. You get it. He appeared behind me like magic, okay? Magic. He's a magical being from another galaxy, and apparently he looks like Gary Gygax. If the robot's smart, it'll learn no matter what, and if it's not, it won't. Professor Ziegler is heavy. Maybe it's time to stop, because I can't talk. Oh boy. Okay, I want to make the robot first, and then we can stop, okay? And this torment can end. For you and for me, and then maybe I'll do some I am bread, or I don't know. What do you think? Should I upload the Pony Island? It's better than it sounds. It's run by demons and stuff like that. Let's play that I did. I know. I think so. He stalks over to you. We'll be back in a moment, continues the interviewer. We're talking with Professor Ziegler pauses the podcast by hitting your laptop's spacebar, and you flinch at this intrusion. He then pulls a cigar from his pocket and lights it, and the smell of smoke mingles with the oily smell of the machine shop. I'm writing a grant for DARPA, and I need to see what you're making back here. We ultimately get funded by the Department of Defense, so we have to make sure that they're happy with our product. You got a critical eye on the work you've done so far. This is a prototype, right? You're gonna build the final thing out of metal. No, I'm not gonna lie either. There. Ziegler shrugs. Fine, I can see that as a selling point. Wait, what did I click? What did I click? What did I click? Too late now. Too late now. Professor Ziegler turns to the examining board. Professor Ziegler turns to examine your robot head, which is currently sitting on the table next to the 3D printer. You've got to be kidding me, Ziegler says. I'm not selling a Muppet to DARPA. It's not for you. For them. You say. It's for kids. It's supposed to be a pleasant presence around the house. Why are you so fixated on DARPA? Can't we get funding from the National Science Foundation? NSF grants are a killing field, Ziegler grosses. The amounts of money are tiny compared to defense research, and you have to be the best of the best to get any funding at all. You privately wonder if that's just Dr. Ziegler's profession. You decide not to try to apply for an NSF grant if you can find the time. And what are you planning to do for arms and hands? Professor Ziegler says. T-Rex? No. Guns? No. Mechanical grippers? Swiss Army knife? No. Soft hands. Soft kitty, warm kitty, copyright. Let's go on. Touchy-feely robots are not quite as easy to sell to DARPA, as Ziegler says with a frown. I want my robot to get along with people, you say. That's a universally useful goal, regardless of who's funding it. Plus empathy, plus grace. Fine, Ziegler says, waving away further explanation. Fine. Carry on, then. He turns to leave. I've got to take a call from New York Times reporter. Funny how journalists all copy each other's stories, but each garbled the message in a unique way. You know, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I get it. He did a thing. My tongue's like freaking seizing up in my mouth. I'm done. We made a robot. We made Freddy. Freddy's a nice guy. That doesn't sound right. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Monsterbat Production. Have a wonderful day.